people? Welcome to Never a Foul. You know what time it is. It's Rivals, Not Virals. Sunday's here. Another big Super Sunday. Another big Saturday of Premier League football done. We're going to recap it all. Big up everyone inside. We've got Daps, we've got Roms, we've got Kunle en route, we've got George, we've got Specs as well. So, guys, you know what to do. Make sure, first of all, you run up the likes. There's already 40 of you here. So I know that you don't want to talk about either Spurs, you want to talk about Man City, you want to talk about Newcastle, all the games today. So we've got lots to get through, man. So run up the likes, every single one of you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to become a member, the link is down below. There's a lot of people that have been members so far, so big up all those. And then also subscribe to all the Mandem's channel. We've got Specs' channel down below, Geordie Dread. We've got One Touch TV for Kunle, and obviously Big Sixpence as well, where a lot of us are on there, and obviously Roms is on there a lot as well. So make sure you do run up them likes, people. Mandem, what are you saying, Roms? First of all, I'll come to you.
I'm good, man. Love for having me on again. Obviously, I get to enjoy the weekend so far because we play obviously on a Monday night. So I've just been watching all of these clubs. I know we got 2 losers on the panel. I think we're gonna have a third in your team today.
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully.
Hey, Rob, sorry to hold you. Let me hold you. So Daps, comments ain't coming through.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I'm about as technical as I don't know. No one.
No, we'll run it up anyway. But I'll just type it in there. I'll tell the people that the comments aren't coming through.
You'll have to check them on the
strange.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on YouTube with my phone. Yeah, man. That's cool. Sorry, Daps, carry on, bro. So I didn't want to interrupt you. I was just saying in case.
Yeah. Roms, I was just gonna say, don't you find that like this time of season when you're playing on a Monday, that means you're not in Europe?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just trying to put it down on your weekend. That's all.
I just think it is true.
I can't remember playing Monday night football in like the second half of the season for a very long time, bro.
I think if you're in Europe, you're right. You do play on a Monday, but it's just nice to enjoy football until the Monday evening. But yeah, I'm good other than that, man. Love for having me on.
I think you're
man, I'm just sorting out the comments. I know what's happened here.
Go on, what's up?
My connection's cutting up. Yeah, the stream's live on YouTube, but on StreamYard it's set up as private, and now you can't change it to public, so the comments won't come through. I'm gonna try and change it.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
That's
it's
right.
What it is. We'll just have to roll with it.
So, guys, we can read out your comments. Yes, calm. Yeah, but my connection's moving mad, Daps. I don't know what's going on today.
Right. Well, the good thing is, that if there's no comments for me to read, then I can host because I'm good at hosting as long as I don't have to read those damn comments. So you know what? And the mad thing is, I've got my wooden spoon as well, so I can just do some stirring and whatever. And right, so where do we start though? Because we could start with. There's no Chelsea no more. Chelsea have almost been.
I love how you just missed. Like no one introduced me. They just thought, yeah, Tottenham, fuck them guys. No one cares about you, George, anymore. No one cares about what's going on over in North London. Let's just push that to the side.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. After the result yesterday, it is very, very important that we have this man here. We need to have this man here because this man on Friday was in a group chat saying. He's got nothing to worry about. He will be here on Sunday because Tottenham have Bournemouth, right? And I was like, bro, but you said the same about Southampton. He was like, bro, this is Bournemouth. There is no need for me to hide. The man with the hairline, almost as good as Roms, the one and only George. What are you saying, bro?
That's more like it. Nah, man. Let's just clarify. I didn't predict the game. I just said I've got nowhere to hide. It's Bournemouth. Because, of course, I thought, yes, it's only
Bournemouth. You said you won't need to hide.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to hide. No, I'm not hiding because I don't do that. But it is what it is, man. It's life as a Spurs fan. It's a struggle. We're living on a lifeline right now. And, we're in quick now, man. We're drowning. We're drowning real fast. And this season could get real bad right in front of us. I don't know.
George, I've looked at your next 3 games and they're scary. They're scary. Boy.
On.
Yeah, but when you say they're scary, who have they got?
Newcastle away, Man United home, Liverpool away.
I think you can get points against United.
We've just walked away with 2 out of 9 points against relegation fodder Everton, Southampton, and Bournemouth. So going into those 3 games, I can only expect 1 out of 9, and that's me being optimistic. A draw potentially against Newcastle, but getting a draw at St James Park.
Well, you don't think you could beat United?
Oh, no way, man, no chance.
This is a different George. Who is this imposter? This is a humble George. This ain't the George.
I've literally got no words for this team no more. I can't support and continue to be optimistic about a team that can't beat Bournemouth, can't beat Everton, can't beat Southampton.
Fair.
Like, there's genuinely no excitement about this team. Harry Kane can go. I wouldn't care. Sonny, he scored a couple goals, but he's scoring goals in games we're losing. Like, there's no positivity around this team, and yesterday was just an absolute joke, man.
I was just about to say that, George. Isn't it funny how Son's picking up somewhat form in the games, and now they have no purpose? It's mad. He starts scoring in their losses. It's crazy.
Literally, and man. It's just all a mess. You could blame the
manager. But you're still in it though, bro. You're still in it, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though it looks a bit mad, but you're still in it, bro.
If we get top 4, all it's going to do is paper over the cracks. It's really just going to be. It's going to make it worse for us, if anything, because we're going to go into the end of the season. You know what? This team's not that bad. This bad team somehow made top 4, and then everyone's going to be looking like, all right, Dyer, new contract, which is apparently something we're looking into, which is crazy.
No way.
Crazy. This guy's been at our club for nearly 10 years, bro.
It could be worse. Some clubs are looking to renew Milner's contract. It could be
worse. I would rather have Milner on my books than have Eric Dyer. I'm telling you now, man. I'd give Milner a 100k contract to replace Eric Dyer. Like, this is an absolute joke, man. Like, this guy, he thinks he's Alderweireld. He thinks he's Toby Alderweireld with these cross-field passes and like 30% success rate. Horrible player. But Daps, man, you take over. I don't even want to talk about Tottenham.
Nah, I mean, all right, there is something to talk on. Dan Juma comes on. Dan Juma scores, right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Dan Juma start?
That's a question that I've been asking for weeks. We've played the same team week in, week out. He's pretty much Conte in disguise, B-Tech Conte. Yep. It's not going to be no difference. We start the exact same team week in, week out. A team that drops points at Everton, a team that drops points at Southampton. It doesn't really make no sense. We're playing, you see when Longley goes down for an injury, we think, oh yeah, let's bring on Davinson Sanchez, a player who's played 10 minutes. He played 10 minutes since October. A player who's failed us for 5 years in a row and has been put on his face and his ass time and time again. But we thought, yeah, let's bring him on and play him and then put Romero on the left side where he's not comfortable. Let's continue to play a back three when we have no left-footed centre-backs. Let's play the back three. What does he do? He gives away 2 goals. He comes on literally within minutes, they equalise. Within minutes, he gives away the ball, puts the pressure on Porro, they score. Straight out of half-time. Gives away the ball again, gets it back, and then he passes it through to Solanke. Great assist.
But that was unlucky though. I think your fans are a bit harsh though. Like booing him off. I think that's disgusting.
That's disgusting, bro. Off again,
why is that disgusting? I do not get the outrage.
I don't know, but bro, because like, well, I don't know, man. I suppose it's a bit harsh. You get what I'm saying? Like to just boo him off. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was a bit mad. And that second goal, where you said basically it's an assist. Do you think it was a bit unlucky, or you just thought he's just bad? He's bad.
He's a bad defender. So good defenders, you don't even get into those positions. He could have won the ball.
Okay, yeah.
And he shouldn't have let it get put through his legs for the other player to even get the chance and the opportunity to pass. So for me, he is just everything wrong with Spurs as a football club. He embodies the average mentality of our club. And the fact that people think it's wrong to boo him is a load of rubbish. The Madristas boo Eden Hazard after a few games of not scoring. They booed Ronaldo when he went bloody and then he was playing shit for a couple of games and wouldn't score for them. But that is the mentality of top clubs. They will boo players to put them in their place and give them a reality check to let them know you are not going to be supported here if you're not performing. Football is about performances and it's about winning games. If your player's playing shit and he's not playing good and week in, week out, you should boo him off the pitch. And he deserved every single bad booing, whatever he got, he deserved it.
It was loud, bro. It was loud.
I don't condone any words or anyone DMing him. That's all horrible. Don't do that. But booing him, there's nothing wrong with that. But just let me get back to Danjuma, yeah?
Just quickly on the booing thing, I agree with you. When we played you at the Etihad and you were 2-0 up at half time, yeah, we booed the City team, right? And I mean, look, it wasn't the whole ground, it was elements, yeah, but there was boos ringing off.
You could hear it, yeah.
Because our performance in the first half wasn't acceptable. And this is from a group of players that we know what we expect from them. We know what, when they work hard, they can do. That's what we're seeing at the moment. Same group of players, yeah. But when you see your team concede 2 goals in like 2 minutes and every single player's head just look at the floor, when you know that this is a team that's currently going for a 3-peat, you know what they can achieve. So ultimately, you ain't chasing every ball. We've just finished work and rushed our asses off to the ground and paid our money to watch you not work hard. Yeah, we can boo that. So I do get you. If players are not putting shifts in, if it's a player that is running his heart out every single game, yeah, then just technically not that great, fine. But if it's a player that can do better and just isn't putting any effort in, I agree with you. Every now and again, you have to let them know. You pay your money to go and back them, but if they're not backing you on the pitch, then you can let them know. So I agree with you on that.
Exactly that. And Tottenham is one of the highest ticket pricing teams in the Premier League. We pay a lot of money to go watch this club, and this club's playing shit football, and they're literally not giving nothing back to us. What more do you expect? I don't feel like. And for Hugo Lloris to go out there and defend him and be like, I've never seen nothing like this in my whole career. It's horrible. He's a player that gives it to the... Like, no. If that was Roy Keane or someone with proper energy and proper captaincy and thought, you know what, ruthless, at a top club with top mentality, he would have said, you know what, he's had a bad game. We're going to work on it in the training ground. And for the fans, we apologize. We apologize to the fans for this happening, but it won't happen again. That's what I want to hear. I want to see this team change, but don't come here sobbing and crying about you've never seen this before. I feel bad for him. It's a load of rubbish. How about you step it up on the pitch, get us some points and beat a team that is bloody 18th place in the league, a team that's battling for relegation and we can't beat them. It's an absolute joke, and I'm not here to support all of that mediocrity and rubbish. Honestly, I will not sit here and defend a team that is playing as bad as that.
Do you know something I just want to... I picked up on as well. Now, your assistant manager, Conte's man then, right? After the game, he comes out talking about the players again, right? Now, it's a valid point, but this is where I feel this man needs to go.
You're talking about the point where you said when they asked him, why do we sit back so much or something?
Look, I'm not going to act like I saw the whole interview. So if I need to be pulled up for getting something incorrect, then by all means, pull me up. But from what I saw, I just know that, again, he was criticising the players, right? And we saw what happened under Conte. That don't work, right? Conte had to go. Is it not fair that, you know what, this man is just going to keep doing Conte's work until he goes as well? He's going to play the same football and he's going to have the same narrative until the end of the season. So should he not have gone with Conte as well?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. I don't feel like keeping Stellini was a smart move, and it was obviously a decision that Tottenham board made because we panicked. We didn't know what to do, and we didn't have a plan B for Conte. And clearly, look, let's be real. I don't think there's a lot of managers that are eager to jump into the Tottenham hierarchy at the moment. They obviously can see from the outside it's a mess. They can see the last 3 or 4 managers haven't been backed, and the last 3 or 4 managers have all sing from the same hymn saying, the board's not doing enough, the board's not giving us enough money, and you keep making me use these same players. It doesn't really make sense. It's obviously a lot of problems outside of the first 11, but tactically, we should have brought someone else in, or even leave it up to Ryan Mason. I don't think he's going to be any good as a manager, but at least he's going to play 4 at the back. At least he's going to try play some attacking style football. At least he's going to try push this team up to actually give something or some type of identity that we can at least appreciate, because right now we're not winning games and we're playing bad football. Like, you can't, there's nothing good to look at.
Do you know I realize, you lot, this just goes for like when a manager gets sacked in general. When a manager gets sacked, 9 times out of 10, their number 2 and 3 will leave with them. Their coaching staff will leave with them. But don't you think in this situation that Spurs, when your number 2s and 3s stay, it's kind of an audition. I don't know,
nothing changes for me. Nothing changes for me because
exactly
the same.
And for me, it goes down to what their ambition is. If you want to go on to be the number 1 coach, you should relish that challenge. Like, cool, your best friend or your number 1's left, but now change things up. You're in the driver's seat now. You are the manager. You should want to change things, not carry on doing the same things as your number 1 was doing prior. It never really makes sense to me. So when I'm seeing Stellini do all of this, it's like, do you want to be a coach or do you just want to go back to being a number 2? Like, are you happy to just go back to being?
The problem is, the ones, I think, is that I don't blame Stellini for playing that way because he's managed under Conte or with Conte for like the past 10 years. It's the only thing he knows. It's literally all he knows. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't go and play any other tactics if he was first team manager anywhere else. He'd play at the 3 at the back. He'd play defensively, and that's pretty much what we expect from him. But
and you know what, George, sorry to stop you, to back you up on that point, right? Because you are in a top 4 race, he probably doesn't want to experiment. That's where I agree with you. I don't want to do something completely new and it gets even worse. So
I hear it.
Just so I know, what do we start with Spurs? That's by the way. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I had a massive update to do, so now it's all blessed now. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's moving nice now. So
yes,
on Stellini, has he managed anywhere before?
No, not first team. I know he had some stint when what do you call it? When all that Juventus stuff happened about 10 years ago, they got banned, they went down to Serie B. He was one of the people a part of that, and he got put to the sides for I think he had an 18-month football ban. So he was coaching literally like a charity team or something. But I thought apart from that, that's pretty much his only first team experience coaching a team himself.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's mad, because if anyone even spoke about what he did yesterday, we didn't shake the manager's hand at the end of the game.
No, I didn't see that.
Bro, Gary O'Neill was cussing him in the interview. I watched a match today last night. He's like, I found it disrespectful that they lost the game in the last minute and they walked straight down the tunnel and didn't even shake my hand. Even if you win or lose the game, you always shake the other person's hand. And I was like, Ross, the leading not moving like that.
He's just an angry man. I said the other day with De Zerbi, he's beefing him as well.
The De Zerbi one was more De Zerbi. Apparently, De Zerbi had misquoted or something. Something happened where Stellini was misquoted and he took it disrespectful. So Stellini went up to him quite happily, and De Zerbi was like giving him words and he didn't really know how to take it. But Stellini's obviously not. He's not ready for the big time, and bringing him in this light and trying to make him be ready is just a bit stupid, to be honest. We should have brought someone in. There's plenty of managers that haven't got jobs. Pochettino's there waiting. He's literally, his name has been ringing around the ground for weeks now. He's been ringing around the ground. The fans want him back. I'm not saying he's the right man for the job, but he would have been for at least the last 10 games to bring some happiness into this club and bring some joy back into the team. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that I'm not too sure whether he'd be the right man going forward long term. But at this moment in time, you can't get any worse. And I'm not being funny. Football is a fan sport. We have to do what's better. We have to do what the fans want, and essentially, you need to make the fans happy, and that means by winning games or giving them what they want. You should have brought Poch back for the last 10 games, and if it worked out, give him the full-term contract, 2-year contract, or whatever. But right now, we don't even know what the plan is. There's no plan for Tottenham. Top 4 does not make no sense because if we get top 4, we're not going to win the Champions League. So there's no point. It's just there for the money. So what's the plan at Spurs? Where do we go from here? I don't know.
You know what the maddest thing is as well? Do you know what the maddest thing is? Specs. When you think about it, even though you not lost yesterday, you two play each other next week. Are you like going into that game more confident now because of what's going on at Spurs?
Before the Villa game, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But because what I'm starting to see with Newcastle is a couple of things creeping in. Even though we've won our 5 games in a row, seen a couple of things creeping in. Like Botman's doing a bit of a madness now and again, and you start seeing little things creeping in.
Picking up off us on the bench. Maxon's injured again.
Nothing. Yeah, all that. And if you got Miggy back, he's come back quite early. But it's just little things that's creeping in, and it's like. Because yesterday, that's the worst performance I've seen them play since the takeover.
Oh, wow.
By a long mile. Wow. You know what I'm saying? By a long mile. When they say we got outclassed, I think it was Cass that put that headline up, outclassed, blah, blah. Yeah, fair play. They've done their thing, but I think we create our own problems. It's more us, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then the little things creeping in, but that Tottenham game now, it's at home, so they'll be up for it, and usually we bounce back after a loss, especially like that. Got a whooping. You know what I'm saying? But so if I'm honest, for me, I'm a little bit nervous. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the game. Like in terms of the top 4, that's going to be a big, not a complete decider, but that's going to be a big say.
It feels like a 6-pointer.
Yeah, like it's a big say, bro.
It pretty much is a 6-pointer when you look at it, because they are 3 points ahead of us. If they win it, and they've got a game in hand. So if they win it, they go 6 points ahead with a game in hand, and then they're going to be pretty clear of Aston Villa and Brighton behind us. So I really do think that like it will be decided within that game. I think Newcastle, if they beat us, they've got the top 4 as long as they keep up decent form until the end of the season.
That's actually mad, you know. What time's that next week? Is that a TV game, George?
They'll just need to stay here and there and just win a few games against the teams that they need.
That's what I'm saying. Then we got Everton after you lot away. Do you know what I'm saying? So like that game is bigger than it would have been before the Villa game. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah, man.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. You know, when you initially said, before the Villa game, you would have been more confident. I think, like you said, the fact is, it's a game against one of your top 4 competitors.
Rivals,
after a loss, and it's at home. I think it could. Obviously, you don't want to lose against Villa in how you did, but I think it could be
horrible.
Good in a sense that you have to bounce back. You need a reaction. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine you starting that game how you did against United. Just all guns blazing.
I was thinking that this is the game they need to go with. The same energy of thinking if we win this.
Yeah, but that's why I was kind of like perplexed against. I know Villa away, they're tough, they're on form. Watkins on fire, everything's going their way. Emery's doing the thing. But I thought, if we lost, like just it's unlucky we lost, whatever. I'll be like, cool. We won 2 away games out of 3. With a tough schedule, do you get what I'm saying? But it's the way we lost, do you get what I'm saying? Because I thought Villa, they know going into that game, Villa are on this thing, we're on this thing. I thought they were going to come with that mentality that we had against United, do you get what I'm saying? But obviously, being at home, it's different, innit? But I was surprised how we played. Like it was just disgusting, bro. And then you got people, we're 3-0 down, I've got my little Man United little friends. Why are you calling me? We're losing 3-0. Why are you calling me? Like, what do you talk about, bro? Like, allow me in. You get me? Like, then I got passed there, right? Little comments. It was horrible yesterday. Horrible. And I'm ill as well. You get me? Like, bruv.
You know what? You know what with Villa, though, yeah? They've actually, even before Emery, like, they've been quite a hard ground to go to. I think Arsenal just won
Especially for us, yeah.
Yeah, we won there, but after the World Cup, where they were quite distorted, that players coming back, and I don't know if Spurs or City's been there yet, but
we've got to play.
Villa's a hard ground. Villa's not easy.
Yeah, we're done.
It's not, brother. It's the crowd's up for it. Big club, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got a good crowd, good following. So, but I was just like from the get go, I knew it was a wrap. Not for the first few seconds, hit the post from start to finish. Then Eddie kind of confused me because I thought, just do the same thing like Brentford. Had a poor first half, change up immediately. But he tried to give the players the benefit of the doubt and rectify it. They ain't got time for that.
Let me ask you, yeah?
That's a word.
Were Villa good or were Newcastle bad?
Both.
Good answer.
Both, bro. Because obviously I want to be a bit of a troll and say, nah, man, we completely caused our own problems. Yes, we did, but Villa. Remember, I'm not used to that this season. Good old Newcastle, eh? Imagine me saying that. I'm not used to seeing like teams proper. Like obviously City and Liverpool's whatever, but to get proper outplayed. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was like, what's going on, bruv? Like I was getting mad. You get what I'm saying? Like they got to the point. I just thought, okay, they're just better than us on the day, but we did cause our own problems, bruv. Like the defense was like over balls to Watkins. Like it was like they just either tired or couldn't be asked, which I found shocking. Because that was a big game, bro. We win that game. Imagine that. Tottenham lost, bro.
Yeah.
If we won that game and Tottenham lost, then I'd be cool, bro. I don't care about taking this part next week. You get me? But it's tough, man. It's not easy, bro.
You know what, Daps? As a neutral, because you've had your games with Spurs where you've had like some tight run-ins with Spurs over the years. And now you're looking at Newcastle coming up. As a neutral, who do you think Daps has got this game next week? Because obviously with the results last week, and then we're playing today as well, which we could capitalize on both of you, which we'll get to later.
Bex.
Who you thinking's got this today, next week, Daps?
Newcastle.
Yeah, so do I. You know,
I mean, they've got the home advantage. They haven't really lost too many games at home, so I think it's pretty much an obvious pick there. I really don't think that Newcastle are gonna. If they do, it might be a draw, and I just don't think Tottenham have the firepower to break them down right now. Newcastle are one of the best defenses in the league. We have
one game at home.
Literally, and we've literally have so many attacking problems. Like we can't create chances. We look like we're in a rush every time we go forward. So I just think Newcastle are going to be a bit too organized for us, a bit more. They're going to be a bit more up for the game. I feel like they're going to be ready for it, and they actually know. Like, let's be real, this is Newcastle's first time getting top four in a long time. So hopefully, it will be. So to them, this is sort of like a big moment. It's a massive moment, and for us. Players aren't up for much. I think we're looking at the end of the season, and we're just looking to get to the end of the season. I feel like we're getting to the point. Man. Yeah, no,
you're on the beach, innit?
Yeah,
we are. A lot of our players are already on the beach. Kane's already preparing to leave for Tottenham.
But how? That's crazy, though, bro. That's crazy.
Now, you know what it is? I just feel like at Tottenham at the moment, there's no one cares. No one cares. Yeah. The manager don't care because the manager knows he's not going to be there next.
Inside the club and outside the club, that's that. No one cares.
The fans are even like at the point where we're like, fucking hell. The players, it's just there's nothing about the club. Whereas Newcastle are like Newcastle players, Newcastle fans, Newcastle manager today are pissed off. Yeah,
they're
pissed off to the point where we need to bounce back because we're onto something, right? So next week. Whereas Tottenham, they're pissed off, but they're pissed off as in, like George just said, there's no point in us getting top four because next season it's not going to mean nothing anyway. So there's a difference. Tottenham are really like, we just need ourselves sorting out. I don't care where we finish. We just need this club sorted out. Whereas Newcastle are like, we want to finish here because this is where we're going. We know what we're doing. And there's the difference. It's just Tottenham need, and that is it. Tottenham need like, a complete I don't want to say restructure, but ultimately, you know what Tottenham have done?
We need a
They do.
It's where you give credit to Levy, right? And this is the realness of it, yeah. Arsenal are now where they are, where they've done the stadium, they've paid off the stadium, and now they're back, right? And anyone that says Arsenal will not move bougie in the transfer window, I believe, like you're not preing what's going on. Arsenal have always, right? Arsenal used to get big name players. Then they stopped because of the wages and the fees while they were dealing with the stadium. Yeah. Stadium got dealt with. Since the stadium has been paid off, Arsenal have been spending money. But because they haven't had top four football, there's been a certain level to what they could bring in. Right. Now Arsenal will get top four football, will be in the Champions League, have competed at very least for the title, and are willing to spend. Arsenal will spend in the summer, yeah? Now, with Tottenham, Levy has got Tottenham in a position where, as a football club, they are doing everything from a business point of view, where they're bringing money in. The stadium is paid off, I believe, yeah? All of that, right? Levy now needs to, if he wants to now take Tottenham to the next level, he needs to unleash. He needs to now unleash and treat Tottenham like a big club. Not like a big successful business. Treat Tottenham like a big club. Go and get the best manager. Go and get a sporting director who is going to work with the manager and then unleash. Otherwise, Tottenham might as well just like allow it, drop away and let someone else have a go.
Do you know what? Yeah, let me ask you a question, Daps, and this is for everyone as well, yeah? I saw Deji speaking on our channel last night, and you said about Harry Kane holding Spurs back. Not because he's obviously a great player, but in terms of like, they might not need to feel like they need to spend as much because they've got Kane and they're just filling a few players with no plan. But if Kane actually went, would that actually make the club think, raw, we've actually lost our best player. Now we really need to spend because we've got to replace Kane and then build another like forte around that. George,
you know,
Roms, anyone?
I see it similar, Ty. Kane's done everything he can for Spurs. I liken it to our situation with Jude. They're going to get a big sum for Kane that they can help kind of build and spread out through the whole squad. Similar to us. Now we're not getting Jude. The money that we were going to spend on that, we were supposed to spend on that one player. We can now spread out throughout the team. So when Spurs fans say, I feel like Kane's holding us back, I get, obviously not in terms of quality, because he's their best player of the last 9-10 years, but in terms of the squad as a whole, you can then reinvest into many different areas. So I actually get it when Spurs say he just needs to go now. He's done everything he can for us. He probably deserves a trophy elsewhere. And yeah, I get it.
Rebuild it, and then we can actually become like
literally
Tottenham
exactly
instead of Harry Kane FC kind of thing.
No, for real. This is exactly that. Like, I feel like maybe not last season, the season before, last season when he sort of downed his tools and was like, he wants to leave. At that point, we wasn't ready to let him go. I don't feel like he was, but now, where you can really see things are getting really bad at Tottenham, it's getting toxic. I feel like there just needs to be a big overhaul, and Kane is a part of that problem. I feel like being the man that is, as you say, he is so good quality-wise, but he papers over a lot of the cracks too.
Yeah.
Because he scores so many goals, and in games, he wins us so many games. Without Kane, we wouldn't be looking as half as good as we are. So I feel like we need to lose Kane to get that reality check. I don't want to see him go to a Chelsea or anyone like that, because for me, that's just disrespectful. But if he leaves
to Kane, how many times have you not played poor and he'll get the equalizer or win you the game? And it's like everything's forgotten about. Not you especially, but certain Spurs fans, it's all right, we won the game. It's just forgotten about. But if you look at the performance over 90 minutes, it was dross.
No, it's exactly that. But I also look at it like we was a team before Kane. We'd won trophies without Kane. We'd had a Kane before Kane when we had Bale. We thought we'd never going to survive without Bale. We thought we was never going to survive without many players. So we just need to move on from this chapter. I feel like this chapter as a Tottenham fan, it's sort of had its highs, but now it's just gone down to the lows. And it's only just going to be going worse and worse. So I feel like with Kane, we need to end this chapter and just start a new one. Just bring out the new players, bring out the new bleed of a club, and just start something completely fresh and new. If that means one season we're going to have to completely rebuild and it's not going to look too great, that's fine. But at least we'll have a plan, and we can look, we've got no Kane, we've got no Son, we've got a young team, and we just need to build around that and just make this the future of Tottenham.
100%. Guys, just so you know quickly, sorry, Specs, just quickly. Guys, make sure you keep liking up the video, people. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and subscribe to the man them down below. Just so you know, I have pinned a comment at the top of the YouTube, which I know all of you lot can see. So just for today's show, the comments ain't coming through. So obviously keep having your conversations with yourself and that, keeping it peaceful, all the Never a Foul community, but we can't see your comments. So don't think we're avoiding. Of course, we love you lot as always, but just so you know, we can't see the comments on today's show.
And also, just so everyone knows as well, there is supposed to be an Arsenal representative here. Now,
he's been hammered by the hammers.
Huh?
He's been hammered by the hammers.
They're bowling it.
He ain't even started yet, Ty.
It isn't here. It's 12:40 now. Ty, you said he usually gets here 20 minutes late. He's 40 minutes late. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to leave no receipts. Maybe it's got.
Maybe does he not want to see Daps?
He's quaking in those boots. He's quaking in those boots. Let's be real. The pressure's on now. It's really getting to the last 7-8 games, and we've been telling them for months. We've been saying, do you know what? When it gets to the business end of the season, your team bottles it. Last weekend, we saw they bottled it, and now they've got City coming up. I guarantee you, I don't know if you guys already seen on Twitter. They're starting to flip the narrative. They're starting to say, if we win the league over this City team, it's going to be one of the best Premier League wins ever. This is what they're trying to say now. Going from a position where they were 8 points clear and it should have been an easy run, and they should have done it. Now they're flipping the script to if we win it now, this is one of the best ever.
George, what's killing me?
Fans done.
I said this last week. I was on a show, and an Arsenal and Liverpool fan started going at it, and I sat there laughing, going, "This is what it's going to be like at the end of the season, where you two are going to have the argument over who was the best loser." Right? That's the way it's going.
Wow! I've been arguing with some Arsenal fans because they're like, even if we finish second, they're like, this is between some Arsenal United fans. They're like, because me and Kaz had this argument with, I think it was Casey on Big Six Bands, and he was at, if we finish second and you don't finish fourth, we still had a better season than you. And it's like, hold on. You can't, because they've got a Champions League spot and a trophy. Then Casey tried to say, but it's kind of like you, Roms, with Liverpool, though. When you finished second with City, you would have had the better season to the fourth place. I said, in the 3 title races we had with City, one of them we won, the other one we won the Champions League, the other one we won a domestic double. It doesn't compare. We didn't solely just get Champions League. We also got trophies with that Champions League spot. And what's killing me about Arsenal fans as well is they're saying we've dealt with pressure all season. The first 10, 15 games aren't pressure. You've not had a run in 20 years. How can you say you've dealt with pressure? This is a different.
They actually didn't have pressure. They actually overexceeded their expectations.
Exactly.
Arsenal are where they are. They are where they are. But the other one I heard last week was like, all week I've been hearing is, yeah, but how did City do against Liverpool at Anfield? And it's like, yeah, I get that, but what you're trying to do is compare.
You still won the league. You still won the league as well.
But what that is comparing games, yeah? And what people need to understand is it's not about who you're playing. It is about the time of season it is, yeah? Like, people will look at games and go, right, I think we'll win this one, they'll win this one, they'll win this one, all of that, yeah? You win. Winning the league is very simple. You need to take all of the complications out of it. Is doing what you have to do when you have to do it. Yeah, like we have Brentford last game of the season away. Arsenal have Wolves. Right? It's irrelevant. It's very simple. For Arsenal to win the league, they have to be the best Arsenal, and for City to win the league, we have to be the best City. It don't matter who we're playing. Right? So, do City generally lose to Anfield? At Anfield, yeah, we do. We do. But it's not in the last 10 games. And if it was, I don't believe we would, because we would do what we have to do. Now, the other conversation, Roms, is who's had a worse season, Chelsea or Liverpool?
You know what? I have to be honest, and I'm saying us. The only reason why I say us because of where we finished last season. Because if you solely look at it this season, you would say, yeah, Chelsea spent 600 million. They've got all these players. Surely it has to be them. But in the context of things, we were 2 games away from record. Now we're sitting mid-table. So I have to take full responsibility. I think it's us. Yes, we're above them. Some Liverpool fans might be watching this like, how dare you look at them? They've won 5 games since October, all this stuff. But from where we've been, for our standards, it has to be us.
I agree with that because for me, it's the expectation going into the season.
Exactly.
And that's what you had. What do you think on that, Specs? When you look at it, or actually,
600 million is crazy.
Arsenal, you can have a touch on Arsenal or the Chelsea Liverpool, whatever. Take your pick, man.
Well, but both of them quickly, innit? The Arsenal one, I don't know, Daps in it, but I didn't know where to cut him off.
No, go
but
on.
Overall, don't you rate Arsenal for what they're doing this season, though?
Bro, Maggie.
We all have to.
That's the first thing, yeah?
Yeah, cool. I rate them. I rate Arsenal like super highly. Like and
Daps has been bigging them up for months. I'm not even
okay.
Point wise and everything, what they're doing points wise and all of that. It's a young team that I do, and this is the thing. I do think Arsenal go again next season. I don't think this is like when people say if they don't do it this season, because I do think Arsenal will.
They'll go again.
I think they've got Martinelli and Trossard. They've now covered. They've got 2 first choice left, and I think they're just going to keep building that squad, and the squad's going to get better and better.
100%. And on to Liverpool. I hear what you're saying, Ty, and saying about Liverpool probably had the worst season. I get that, but for me, okay, if you go by expectations, then I kind of get what you're saying. Obviously, it's like, you get me, but I just can't, from a Newcastle fan point of view, before takeover, whatever you want to call it, from where I'm coming from, I just can't accept that what Chelsea are doing right now, bro. Like, it's sickening, bro. Like, it's like a joke. It's like Bowley's coming like a mole and it's just like purposely sabotaging them. Like it's some Hollywood. Like it's man. I'm not. Look, okay, coming from when Liverpool were last season, I'm looking at Chelsea as Chelsea and Liverpool as Liverpool. But Chelsea, come on, bro. I swear they're like 3 points in front of Crystal Palace.
Wait, where did they finish last season? Quickly, you lot. I forgot.
Fourth.
Where did?
Right or third?
When was the takeover? Around this time last year, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been a year now. It's been a year now, I think.
The takeover actually finalised in. Are you meaning Chelsea?
Chelsea, yeah.
Now the takeover finalised in the summer.
Yeah, I thought.
No, but the actual takeover happened it happened in mid-season.
So if we're reading the whole process, Chelsea started being effed up, and let's be clear with this. Yeah, Chelsea started being effed up. That like. Before this, I swear it was like February, March time where they started being told they can't have fans at the ground and all that stuff, yeah. But the takeover actually got like completed to the point where Bowley could come in and actually do something, like hire someone, fire someone, all of that. It wasn't till the summer.
Fair.
He went too crazy, man. He went just too much players. Like, do you agree with him? Like, quickly, do you agree? Like, do you think it's okay? Like, for your team, even the cities and all that, do you think that it's wise to just start flooding players like that?
No, it's not wise to. It's wrong.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Deep it.
Think about it. Think about it. Look where you are, right? But since your takeover, I think if you do all the points, you are where you're meant to be. You're third. Because at the back end of last season, your last 15 games, whatever it was, I remember doing shows about it. And I remember I was saying, if you look actually the points since the takeover, you look like third in the table. And then 31 games in, to this season, you've actually showed consistency. So this is not a fluke. You lot are where you're meant to be.
No, definitely not a fluke. That's what I said before. I was on those platforms.
What have you done? You spent 60 million on Alexander Isaac because you know you needed a proper number 9 because Callum Wilson's injured. You got Anthony Gordon, I get it, but then you spent 30 million on Botman, he's a proper centre back. You got Trippier in as well, obviously about a year and a half ago, and then you got Brighton. When you look at it, you lot have not gone and spent like big money.
They're doing it right, bro.
They've done it right, and Chelsea haven't. And look at the difference.
The thing is, though, I think the big difference is that Chelsea have come in from Todd Bowley. He's coming from America. Let's be real. They're like they come in and they think, let's just do everything.
It's Hollywood.
Let's just go. Literally, as you say, Hollywood. They're just gonna go big or go home. So he literally thought, I'm gonna come in, gonna make the big change. You even see the other day he was walking. They're doing a little interview, and he's going, "Yeah, we're gonna beat Madrid 3-0." Like,
3-0.
Is that? You can see your team has literally the least amount of points since October this season.
You know what Bowley's done?
You're gonna go beat the current champion.
I'm not gonna lie. Does this guy not know what ground he's going to?
He doesn't. He doesn't have a clue. He literally does not have.
He wants that happier. He honestly thinks that, like, dreams. What's the thing about America? Like, isn't it called the something of dreams or something? Yeah.
Land of opportunity or something.
And that's what he's thinking. Like, but on a real, if we look at Chelsea, this is a thing where with the managers they're looking at now, like, I feel. I said this about Man United, when Man United were like, who's the manager that's going to come in? Could it be Pochettino? Could it be Ten Hag? And I said, I think with the manager that they get will tell you a lot, right? Because if they get a manager like Pochettino, I'm sorry, but I think Poch is a bit of a yes man, right? And he'll be going there and he'll let the Glazers continue to do what the Glazers want, If they get someone like Ten Hag, I think they're going to get a bit more of a pushback. Because Ten Hag has that, like, whereas PSG sacked Poch, Ten Hag was leaving the club. So it was his choice, So he's only going to go to a club that is willing to do what he wants. And I think that's the same with Chelsea now, that they need to go for a manager that doesn't need the job. If they're going for a manager that needs the job, it's just going to be another one that walks in and Bowley continues to run that and do it the way he wants. Whereas if they were to go with someone like... I
think Enrique is the man.
Enrique will be going in there and saying, I'm interested in the job, right? It's a good project. However, I need to know that you're going to bring in a sporting director who's going to work with me. It's not going to be you ringing me up on a Tuesday morning going, by the way, I've bought you a new player, right? And me being like, oh, great, you got me a deal. Nah. There was a great left winger that Arsenal wanted, so we went and bought him. Right? And I think that's the thing that Chelsea need. They need structure now. Bowley needs to understand getting the owner. And you know what? Salute to Bowley. The way he's investing and putting his money where his mouth is, great. But that don't work. Glazers have always done that at Man United, Sometimes spending money isn't the key. It's having the right structure and allowing to back the manager. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is, we don't know if Bowley will be that guy. He might be that guy that never No, I want to run this club. I believe I know best. And if that's it, it's long for Chelsea. They're not.
Don't you think, though?
You know what?
Go on, Roms.
Quickly, George, before you go, I think even just to summarize what you're saying, Daps, that not for 1 second have I thought Bowley doesn't care about Chelsea. I think he does. By the masses on money he's put in, you can tell he cares. It's literally just the way he's gone about, because we know that a franchise player is that one. He's bought about 6 thinking they could all be that one franchise player, and it's just not really, it's not really work. But you can tell he cares for the club. But until he gets someone who actually knows the game, because do they have a director of football right now? I don't even know if they've got one off the top of my head. I'm not too sure. But until he gets one in,
Sorry, James Corden.
That's actually true, isn't it? I think Kaz was telling me that's actually true.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Apparently, he was the guy that suggested Lampard or something.
Yeah. Apparently.
No, but the thing is, I think Bowley now has got Chelsea in a position where they're going to be stuck for a while, because I don't know if you guys heard, they don't even have enough space in their changing room for all their first team players that they have. They have people changing, like their new signers, Noddy Madueke, Mudryk. They're changing in the hallway. They're literally standing up in their fucking.
You know what? Where you change in the middle of the changing room. You know when all the seats are taken.
All the seats are taken. They're standing up, getting changed in the hallway. So I feel like whatever manager comes in, they're coming into a position where the squad is completely bloated. They've already invested so much into half of these players, so they can't just get rid of them. And they've got 7-8 year contracts, so a lot of the players are going to have to stay.
Yeah,
the manager's going to have to work. The manager's going to have to work with the squad he's got. And I don't know if you guys actually saw, just like 2 days ago, there was reports that Chelsea are going to have some financial fair play problems real soon.
Yeah, so they're financial.
You make a great point as well. If I were Chelsea, they're far off it. But do you know why? They need to push for that conference spot. And I know it might be a buyer for them. I know it might hurt their pride. But you know why they need to push for that conference spot? Because with all them young players they can't get off the books, where are they going to develop them? You've only got 3 competitions. I think exactly an extra competition will give them younger players time. Because Conference League, they're not going to care about. I reckon they'll probably rest about 12 or 13 first team starters, and they'll probably mix it in with fringe players and academy players. I say they actually push for that spot. There's probably Chelsea fans watching this like, no, that's a violation. No one wants to be in that competition. But for that club and where they are right now, because they're not going to be able to get all the players off the books, and a lot of them are young. I say they push for that competition. Honestly, I don't think they can get it, but try, because you can't develop all these young players just in the Prem, Carabao, and FA Cup alone. FA Cup don't start until halfway through the season as it is.
Bro, it's summed up here. When you think about it, Badiashile for me is one of the better centre-backs at Chelsea. He couldn't even get into the Champions League squad. He had to be left out because obviously it's a 25-man squad. So what I think the most important thing for me with Chelsea is, one, what Daps said, they need to get a proper board and who's going to work with the manager and have a structure. That's the first thing you need to do. Once the manager is working with someone else upstairs, they know that they're thinking the same, they're correlating. The second thing is, for me, that Chelsea squad is huge. When that manager comes in, he's basically got to watch them in pre-season and say, right, these are the players I'm keeping and these are the players I'm getting rid of. And when he says these are the players I'm getting rid of, it's none of this like Man United have been struggling to get rid of Maguire or struggling to get rid of McTominay. No, Chelsea need to actually sell these players.
He's going to want to buy some of his own.
He's going to buy some players. So
and one of the new, there's a new rule as well coming in this season that you're only going to be allowed to loan out 7 players. So
they're actually going to have to sell.
Obviously, that doesn't include youth squad and youth players.
Have to go.
But first team squad players and players that are registered to the first team, they're only going to be allowed to do 7 players. Chelsea already have about 40 in their first team. Do
you know, one thing that's interesting, and we won't know this, is actually boring, but is the way when Todd Bowley bought the club, is the way that the players were like structured on the books, because if
sorry to cut you that. I got a dip quickly. Big up you lot.
With businesses, they treat assets a certain way, and an asset, is something that has a value on the book. Now, usually assets only have a value on the book for a certain amount of time. Like, so if your business owns a laptop, that laptop will be worth, say you pay £100 for it. A year later, it will be worth 75 on the book. Year later, 50. Year later, 25. Then after that, it has no book value, right? So it's interesting to how the Chelsea players are seen like that, because it could be that Bowley, in the deal when he bought it, that a lot of those players now are worth nothing anyway. In which case, he will probably look at them in the summer and go, free transfer, even if they've got a year left on their contract.
Wow.
Yeah. He could go free transfer because I believe an example of that is Barkley. Ross Barkley was given a free transfer because they didn't want to. Remember, most Chelsea players will be on high wages, and if they're not getting a sniff, you'd be better off giving them a free transfer and just moving them on. And you know what? And for the player as well, for the good of the player as well, that you know what, they don't want to sit there rotting away like Aubameyang. Do you know when Chelsea played Liverpool? Whoa, you're being attacked by a bee there, bro.
Yeah, bro. How you know?
Raw, man, I'm looking at the whip, you know.
We've got him on the ropes.
Well, man got run out of the car.
Hey.
But no, like, I forgot what I was going to say there. The bees put me off.
The Birmingham Bees got him. Villa. What's it called? No, you said about Chelsea's value laptops and talk about players.
No, and Aubameyang. Do you know the other day when Chelsea played Liverpool? No lie, Aubameyang, was live on Fortnite.
Oh, raw.
And I'm not lying, bro. He was live on Fortnite, playing Fortnite while his team were playing Liverpool.
Yeah, that's mad. That is mad. That is actually crazy. I'm going to read out a couple of super chats as well.
You don't want involved.
Yeah, you don't need. He's God. Like that's one of the first ones out the door. The boss, by the way, big up for your super chat. I've got it up on YouTube. I just can't put it up on the screen, just because I have put a comment up saying that we couldn't get comments up for today. Don't worry. Later on shows and all the rest of the shows will be absolutely fine. There was just an error on the system. The boss says Arsenal have to win. The pressure must be mad. And then he sent another one as well. Thank you for 2 super chats.
Yes,
really
appreciate
that.
Love the boss always.
Yeah. Love the boss, man. Thank you for the energy. Arsenal have to win. All Arsenal fans have invested too much chest to lose the league now. Well, we're going to touch on the Arsenal game shortly. We're going to come to Man City next because I think it's only right that Daps has a say on what's going on over there because Erling Haaland has obviously reached a record for Premier League goals, matching Mo Salah 32, and he's still got 7 games to go. It's crazy, man.
Ridiculous, bro.
I just want to be straight up with you, yeah? Man City are on job at the moment, and this is the business end of the season. I don't even want to talk about the team. I actually want to ask you specifically on Haaland. Did you think Haaland, we know how good he is as a goal scorer. Yeah, did you think he'd be this good in his first season?
No. Bro, look, I love the shithousery of the fact that we were signing Haaland when every other club, remember the season before, how confident every single Chelsea fan was that they were getting Haaland.
Yeah,
right.
No one forgets that.
And so it's the fact that and even now when people go, yeah, but in 2 years' time he's going to go Real Madrid. Firstly, no one knows that because he's very happy. But secondly, you know what? If he does, because I don't think Haaland will leave will even consider leaving until he's achieved everything he wants to do. Yeah? He's one of these guys that has a to-do list, right? And he won't want to join City and not take City to a next level. But either way, to anyone that wants to laugh at the fact that maybe one day he might move on because he wants to achieve as much in football as he possibly can, guess what? He chose my club, not yours. Yeah. So you can laugh at the fact he left us. He never even joined yours, firstly, right? But secondly, I wanted the shithousery of it, but I was excited about Alvarez. And sometimes with that, what I do is I don't want to put all of my
I hate said. All your hopes and your eggs on Haaland.
I watched Foden from young and thought, this man is unreal. But I'm not going to invest all my stocks into it mentally, because I've seen United fans do that with young players in the past. And then the step up from playing youth football to Premier League football, it's not a joke. City's under 23s team, I think it's called, what is it? Premier B, is it called? Premier B, right? Yeah. We blitz it. We take the piss out of that league, But then, when the players step up and start playing with the first team, it's not oh my God, this person is now blitzing the Premier League. 1 or 2 make it through. The step up is different. So with Foden, I was a bit like that, and it was only once I'm seeing him do it regularly in the Premier League where I'm okay, this man is the real deal. And same with Haaland. Look, we all knew he was good, but.
Yeah, he's on 46 in all competitions now.
What is it? 40,
46,
and 47.
47 might even be 47 because he scored 2. It might be.
Yeah, I know. He's equaled Salah's record now with 8 games to go
in the Premier League.
In the Premier League,
and he's clearing that.
I think he's 2 or 3 goals away in all competitions from clearing Clive Allen's record. That I think there's been about 8 years. Which is
barring no injuries. Do you know what the maddest thing is for me? Do you know what the maddest thing is for me? Barring no injuries, it's it's a guarantee he does it. He's just going to score. For me, I just feel he does score a goal a game. I know there's some games he might blank, but then he scores 2 the next game. So he literally scores a goal a game, and it's ridiculous because obviously that narrative. I've been talking about that because I haven't been on with you for the last few days.
He scored. Hasn't he scored? Is it 32 in the Premier League? He's got.
Yeah.
32 in the Premier League.
32 in
like 30 games, I think it is.
Well, no, we've played 30 games. He hasn't played all games.
No, he
Yeah,
hasn't. I
he's
think it's 20, 27 or something he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he scored. I think he scored 13 goals in 6 games, isn't it? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Like, he got 6 in a row. Overall, 13 in that 6. Madness, bro.
What it is that, like, when you look at it now and the way that we're playing now, people always said, City make chances, yeah? So if you've got someone that knows how to finish and then you've got the chances that we make, he's going to get a lot of goals, like, because we make a lot of chances. So
no, you do.
But the other thing is, it's a desire from him. It's like, I think this is something that I said this a couple of weeks ago, that when I look at the City team, right, when you look at a team and they've won things, yeah, it's like, right, where is the desire? Because you know what, you can make plays go again and go again and go again. But if I look at this season, Nathan Ake, right, he was a bit part player last season, yeah. He wants to be a player that made the difference, a player that can comfortably, because you don't want to be, look, it's a great feeling, I'm sure, to be part of a squad that win the title, yeah. But if you're that player, we don't want to be that player that's been given games in the last couple of games just so you get to have
you want to be starting.
I fully contributed to that trophy. Nathan Ake, right, this season.
Part of it.
Jack Grealish, last season was a bit part player for us. This season, Jack Grealish, like, you saw it yesterday when Pep made the subs, it was, right, firstly, Ake, Akanji, and who was the other one that didn't start? Ake, Akanji, Gundogan didn't start, right? Important players, yeah? Subbed off.
Wait,
Daps,
Daps,
your
is it
mic
me or
just gone
Daps got like a
really
robot?
Oh, it's done it again. 1 sec. I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was
just continuing on that. Yeah, I think one player that hasn't had a lot of. Well, I don't know. To be fair, one player I think's been really improved for Man City this is John Stones. John Stones really took the reins of that.
George, you know what? He's actually probably the best centre back for you. He's actually probably the best defender at the club.
100%. I feel like this season he's took because of course, look, he made this transfer to them probably about 7 or 8 years ago. It's been a long time. And we all know that first couple of years it took Stones his time because he had a lot of mistakes in him. But there was always a player there, playing centre back. And once you really just ironed out those creases in the defensive way, like his defensive duties, you knew there was a player there. But Pep has got this guy playing ball. John Stones, like another season like this, we're talking world class. Like this guy,
facts.
Absolutely on fire at the moment. And
even the way George as well, he's actually slotted into the midfield, very comfortable. It's not even like he's
midfield, man,
bro. To be fair, I'm not surprised though because he's always had that ball playing ability. He always had the ability to drive up, take on a few players, but it was just defensively he was lacking a bit more. Like you was never sure of him in the back line, but now I feel like he's ironed that out and he's just a lot better. Pep has really made him into a complete player.
And that was what I was saying, that when you look at yesterday, we left Akanji, Ake, and Gundogan out, right? That's because Pep knows they're going to be important against Bayern, right? And they need a bit of rotation. They've played a lot. Then I think the first substitutions were Haaland and John Stones, right? 45th minute.
Half time, yeah.
Then it was Rodri, De Bruyne, and Grealish, right? Not long after. And that... It is like they're the players that have played a lot of games that Pep knows are important. And with John Stones, he's a City cult hero, yeah? The minute that Ruben Diaz joined Man City and there was rumours that John Stones, I think a few clubs came in for him and there was rumours John Stones might leave, he turned around and said, nah. I want to stay and fight for my place, right? That's how cult heroes are made. When someone turns around and says, that's why we love Zinchenko, that for seasons, Zinchenko kept like never being the main starter, but kept saying, no, I'm staying and I'm fighting. As a fan base, that's what you want. You don't want players that do like who was it? Ferran Torres. Like one season in the Premier League, Barcelona comes sniffing, and you go, you want to dip to Barcelona, who at that point really weren't competing. Bro, your mentality is not built for this club.
You know what I like about Pep, though? Do you know one thing I like about Pep, which is different to other managers? He always says, if any player comes to our office and says they wants to leave, it doesn't matter how big or small they are, he won't stand in their way. I think the only place that he'd try and stop was Messi. He said, other than that...
No, the only other one that, like, I'll be honest with you, that we have... And we're we have said we're ready. If he needs to go, we'll let him go this summer. But it's Bernardo Silva, bro.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Bernardo Silva, yeah? Right? And I said this in
he
the
just
group
misses the
yesterday.
sun, man. He doesn't mind. He just misses the sun. He just
think
wants
it's
to
his
be
missus,
warm
bro.
again.
I think his missus just wants. I think it's the missus. You see him. I see pictures of him every day in training. The City players love him. He's like everyone's little brother. Yeah, but I just think his missus wants to be. That's why he never makes a song and dance about it. Like, he's cool here, but here's the thing. I do think we'll let him go in the summer. But you know, when Bernardo Silva joined us, he started off like wide right, yeah, and slowly he's dropped deep. I'm telling you now, this is what Pep has been doing with Jack Grealish, right? Jack Grealish, yeah, I feel like the way Pep is, he knows the most important position in Manchester City's team is those three in midfield, the Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, yeah? That's where we win and lose games. That is where City win and lose games, that control there, right? And I feel like with Bernardo, it's like, right, and now with Grealish is, we'll play you out wide at first because that is where you can do the least damage, right? While you learn my system, you learn how to play Pep ball. And you watch Jack Grealish every time he drops deep. Think about how many times this season you've seen him trap back and win the ball back. Yeah,
yeah.
He's doing the stuff that
Definitely
Bernardo
developing him into
Silva
an
does,
8.
right? And honestly, I think I think Pep slyly
molding him into an 8.
I think he's molded Grealish into an 8.
He's got the ball. Do you know what? He's got the ball carrying ability. We've always seen it at Villa because, yes, he played like on the left on the TV for Villa.
Yeah.
But actually, he had a free roll, and he said he always used to come inside and just roam. So he knows he's got the
That's
quality.
what Bernardo
His
does,
ball
bro.
carrying is brilliant. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Daps, can I ask you a question?
It's when Bernardo has that free roll to just roam around, but you have to make sure before you give someone the role of, you know what, you can just roam. You have to make sure that they do the fundamentals, right?
Yeah, and
they are willing to track back and win the ball back, and they're not just up front going, I can do what I want, right?
Yeah.
I honestly think Grealish next season in an 8 role would absolutely cook, man. But yeah, listen, it's going well. Everyone said we're a different City. Finally, we are a different City because do you know what? That back four of centre-backs, yeah, or back three of centre-backs has made us even stronger defensively.
Yeah, you are strong. George, I want to ask that question.
I wanted to ask that question. I feel like right now you're in a position where Liverpool were at the back end of last season. You're battling for the FA Cup, you're battling for the Prem, and you're battling for the Champions League.
They'd already won a trophy.
They had, but you guys are in a very good position right now to do the treble. And especially with that Champions League looming, that's the one trophy that you know, it's been eluding you guys for a long time. How confident are you of bringing home that treble? Or what? If not the treble, what are you confident of bringing home? Because you're in a very good position to get all three.
Do you know what? Honestly, if I'm gonna like not try and give the right question just from the heart, the one trophy I'm the least confident on is the FA Cup.
Is that because of us?
Yeah. Well, no, it's two things. It's two
Brighton.
It's because of the fact that which ones are important to us, right? And either way, I do believe this title race is going down to because we've got Brighton away, we've got Brentford away. I do believe this title race is going down to the last week of the season now, right?
Yeah.
I said game week 37. I now think game week 38. And that is because I have confidence that Arsenal aren't going to drop points against many teams, right? If Arsenal drop points against West Ham, that narrative might change. But at the moment, I think it goes down to the last week. So if you imagine City going to have last week of the Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, like that, yeah? I can tell you the team that Calvin Phillips will probably play in will be the FA Cup. The team that Gomez might play in will be the FA Cup. We're going to be focusing on the Premier League and the Champions League, and the FA Cup is going to be like, you know what, if we've got no injuries, great. But if we do have any concerns, players are going to be rested in the FA Cup final, and Man United will want it probably that little bit more.
The fact that you've also won the FA Cup multiple times, the big two are the league and obviously the Champions League, like George is saying.
Actually won that's a mad narrative, you know, because actually we win the league far more regular than we do the FA Cup. The FA Cup's the one that actually we haven't
true. That is
that's a league cup, isn't it?
But the Premier League is far more important than the FA Cup.
Yeah, but the league's far more important. What were you going to ask that Spectre? Were you going to say something on City? Then we'll go on to the games today and then we'll wrap up.
No, well, it's nothing important now. I was just wondering, because obviously Daps is a Man City fan. I wanted to know I had a little stuff, but what's the real reason why the fans were booing Cancelo the other day?
Oh, good question, you know. Good question.
Only you know.
Right,
I don't.
The way he left the club, it was very much like we spoke on before about mentality, right? And about having the mentality where maybe when you get dropped, when you get benched, that you don't just go, oh, that's it, I want to leave. You don't fall out with the manager, throw a ball at the manager, create all the in-house fighting that he created, yeah? Like, and he did. Like, there was players falling out with each other over this, because you got to remember, like, Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, they're all Portuguese. Like, I heard Foden and Diaz were having to get involved, and it was all around that period where everything was bad. So, and also it was against our manager. You got to understand, bro, we are very loyal to Pep Guardiola, because Pep Guardiola, when all them charges came against us, Pep Guardiola came out backing the club. And So we're going to back Pep Guardiola after the way he was then, like, to the death. But then also it's the fact that Cancelo then went in an interview and still knowing he plays for Manchester City.
Yeah, he's on loan, yeah.
That he's said, you know, hopefully, and he's even said I might go back and whatever. Then he's gone and said, you know, Tuchel took it off us before. Hopefully this time he won't. And it's like, oh, that's a double blow. You're mocking the fact that we lost in the final to Chelsea, and you're saying that he hopes that you put us out again. Nah.
Right, that's
he actually.
Do you think that bridge is burnt now? Then do you think that bridge is burnt now?
Yeah.
No, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Bro, 100%.
Yeah, Pep having that. Then also, I think what it does as well is that if he does stay and Pep allows him, it kind of sets that precedent that people think that, oh, maybe he took the piss, so I can a little bit. You don't want that.
I've always said, that defensively, I think he's similar to Trent. In the right system, going forward, Cancelo can absolutely cook, But not in this back four. This back four thing, Cancelo don't work. The whole thing now is that Ake, when we are being attacked, Ake can drop into the defence and do a very good role defensively, On the other side, John Stones can drop back into the back four and do a very good role defensively. Cancelo could not do that, right? He couldn't. And the other thing is, 5 clubs in 5 years, right? Those type of stats, I don't want that type of player. That mentality means when shit hits the fan. And you know, one of his other clubs, I can't remember who it was. Was it maybe Villarreal he was at for
Valencia?
Valencia.
He kicked up a fuss there.
He kicked up a fuss. He started doing that to fans of his own club there. And not
Inter Milan, it didn't really work out. I've just got 5 minutes, guys. So I want to just quickly get our thoughts on Arsenal today. Because Specs, if they don't win, obviously City won again yesterday. The pressure's on now. And it's quite funny, right? Because I know it doesn't mean a lot. But psychologically, you know, when you play second, you know the other team have won. So
it's horrible. Yeah.
And if people don't know, Zinchenko's not in the squad today. He's got a groin injury. So Kieran Tierney's coming to go into the back. So obviously he's got to step up and have a big game. But what's your thoughts on Arsenal today? Do you quickly think they get the job done and keep the pressure on as well?
It will be tough, but not. Look, man, if I'm being real, I think Arsenal get a result today. Yeah. I think they get 3 points today, bro. If I'm honest, like pressure or no pressure, I just feel like, and I've been saying all along before I started doing all this pod stuff. I just feel like, no matter how much Man City keep winning, I just think Arsenal, even though they got points against Liverpool, whatever, hard place to go to, I just feel like Arsenal is gonna, whatever Arsenal do, Man City do. Whatever Man City do, Arsenal do. And that's how I think it will end up.
It's gonna be like that basically until they play each other.
Yeah. So when they play each other now, then they can talk to you properly, bro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But that's gonna be some next. Yeah, that's gonna be mad.
And that game's actually a midweek game as well, so that's gonna be mental. Guys, make sure there's still 250 of you here, despite not us being able to get up your comments. Apart from obviously, I read out a couple super chats, which big up again. Thank you. But guys, don't worry, the comments will be back for the next show. So the 250 of you that have stayed without even us having your comments up, that shows the loyalty, man. So big up. Me, Daps, the whole team of the panel, we love that, man. Big up for the loyalty, guys. George. Obviously, your take on your rivals up there, and I'll come to that before we wrap it up.
Do you know what, I'm just going to be real. They're going to do over West Ham, man. This is West Ham. West Ham have been poor all season. They're not a team that anyone fears or anyone danger. Maybe last year when you thought they had a bit of an attack, but West Ham just a bit of a mess at the moment. They don't really know what's going on. I feel like they're more focused on the Conference League than anything. They've got that big game against Ghent in the midweek, and Yeah, I just don't think that they're going to be ready for this game against Arsenal. Arsenal are going to do the job that they always do. Their back line is a bit weaker than usual, but the rest of the team is as normal. And Arsenal just going to have too much firepower for them. I actually see Arsenal scoring quite a few goals and it potentially being like 3-0. I think it's just going to be clear. Wow. It's going to be a clear statement win from Arsenal. But, I mean, Arsenal fans know that this isn't a game that they need to worry about. They know what game they need to worry about, and they got the big one coming up next. So
they've still got to do the job.
They still got to win though.
They still got to get there 100%, and I think they will. Like Daps said, I feel like in all of these other games that they're going to do the job, but there will be a few games like Newcastle away and the Man City game where I just don't think that they're going to have the bollocks to turn it up.
Yeah, fair. And that's what you're thinking on it, and then
it's spot on. Yeah. Look, we've said it. Arsenal have earned like our credit, they're not a team no more that you look at games that some might like. Even when I've heard some people say, "Oh, Chelsea, when Chelsea might get something at the Emirates." No, they won't. Chelsea,
no, bro.
Do you know what? This game today, 2 years ago, I'm thinking Arsenal could slip up. 100%.
Yeah, not now, bro.
Oh yeah.
Not now. That's all changed.
Defensively, they are a little bit weaker, but in midfield where they dominate the game and up front where they're killers, like West Ham aren't getting nothing. Arsenal, and even like Brighton at home, for me, look, Brighton is a difficult game. I worry about going to Brighton, but this Arsenal team are top of the league for a reason, and it's not games, for me, all of those games is fine. It's Newcastle away, City away, and Liverpool away. They were the three because they are the three against, like, they're the three pressure games, right? Yeah. And this is what it's about. Is Arsenal's squad good enough to win the league talent-wise? Yes, right? We don't doubt that no more. It's, can this young squad handle the pressure, right? And Liverpool was that. They were 2-0 up. First half, Arsenal showed that talent-wise, we're better than Liverpool. Talent-wise, we are it now, The only thing was, second half, pressure came into it. When that Liverpool fan base started making noise, the pressure got to them. I'm not knocking it, Real Madrid last season, when Real Madrid scored one goal, that pressure got to the City team, It's about pressure and handling pressure, and the pressure's already building in their heads. Today, they're focused on West Ham, but in the back of their head, they're knowing they've got to go to the Etihad to play the team that's beat them twice this season, that is waiting, hunting them down, literally like a shark. Sniffing blood, laughing to it. So you know how sharks have that little grin permanently on their face? Like they know. Like, oh, what, you want to jump in the sea when I'm about?
Rivalry, boy.
It's going to be interesting. Now, I'm agreeing with you, I think it's going to be Arsenal until they've got Southampton next week at home when we've got the FA Cup game, so they'll have, that's their extra game. I think Arsenal get the job done today. I'm not really feeling anything that West Ham can cause them a threat, really. But I'm going to wrap it up here because we've done an hour and 15 and I know the games are starting.
Hold on, no. One sec, Ty. You're not just going to wrap it up just yet, Because you asked all our predictions on the Arsenal game. So I just have to really quickly ask you for a prediction. Because
what, on the Arsenal game?
No, not on the Arsenal game.
Oh, yeah, we're playing today.
We're playing today.
They seem to forget that.
Do you know what? No, I'll be real. Yeah, I was going to kind of just say, we'll talk about that later.
You sly guy trying to sneak out. You can have all those shirts in the background and not talk on your club.
That's true. Now, you know what? Yeah, let me have a little say because I'll be honest. I said it on the preview show on the Never a Foul on Friday that I normally can get over a game within 10 minutes. But that game on Thursday, I know that Man United fans are fuming the next day because I woke up and I was still angry. We're 2-0 up in the Europa League, and you should be seeing out the game professionally. Ten Hag got it wrong, and Ten Hag has actually got it wrong in some games this season. Look at the Liverpool game away from home, playing Bruno on the left when he's never played Bruno on the left before. There's certain things that Ten Hag has done right, and he's done a lot right, more than he's done wrong, but he's also got things wrong. And that was one of them on Thursday. And I feel like Man United need to bounce back today. We have to win. We're playing a Forest team that are fighting for their life. Yes, on paper, we should win because we're going to a team we're better than. But you know what it's like, 4:30. If they score first and the crowd gets going, you just never know. Look at Bournemouth beating Liverpool a few weeks ago at home. That's what happens when it's on TV. But Man United need to respond today because if they don't, I'm slightly worried. I'm not going to lie. Like, Casemiro's back, I get it. Bruno's back. But we've got Sevilla away, And despite their league form, they're going to go next week trying to win everything they can to get into this Europa League and get into Europe. They've won it 4 or 5 times in the last 8-10 years. So that's going to be hard. We then play Brighton on the Sunday next week in the FA Cup. We're going to be fit, ready, a week's rest. Brighton are a problem. So they could beat us next week. So I'm sitting here right now saying next Sunday in the afternoon, we could hypothetically be out of the Europa League and the FA Cup. And then that's kind of our season done, because I think top 4 will get that anyway. So this win today, if we get that, is so important, because mentally we need a bit of momentum going back into that Sevilla game. So like, it's important for us today, because this next week's the biggest test I think we've had this season so far. I don't know what you lot see of it, but like, I don't want us to crack. Top 4's not done either. Imagine we lose today, then we lost to Sevilla, and then we lost to Brighton. Like, we could be under some big pressure in the next week. It's huge. This is the biggest week of the season.
Especially with the injuries that you guys are having. I feel like this is one thing that I told Man United fans back in January, December. I was saying, do you know what? Yeah, your team is good, but I just don't think you have the squad to keep going on throughout the whole season and just be comfortable saying top 4 is good.
Bro, it's Maguire and Lindelof, basically. Because we need Luke Shaw back.
Literally, you've got Maguire and Lindelof. And let's be real, going into some of these games, you're not going to be so confident. And like you said, Europa League still to play. I feel like the Europa League is what's hampering you a bit. It really is. And it hampers every team. You've got to play some big teams. You've got to play some big games. But I feel like it is a trophy that you guys need to go and win, because, of course, you had the slump over last time at Villarreal. So I feel like it's something you guys need to go do. But like I say, I think Nottingham Forest, it's a game you guys need to win. I think you will win. I think it's going to be a tight one, though. I do think it's going to be a tight
2-1 or something like that.
Yeah, but it is one of those confidence boosters. Like I say, going into next week where you've got really massive games that can really shape your season, and just it will really show where the fan base is at and where Ten Hag is at. So let's see what.
Do you know what? Really the interesting part is you're right though, because it's such an interesting week, and the fact that the injuries now mean we're going back to Maguire and Lindelof, which we've had the last few years. Do you think, like, even with you, Specs, when you've had a couple of injuries and that, and you've had your players that don't always start have to come in, do you think that Maguire and Lindelof might actually play better because they're coming in and they know they can prove a point? It's like, right, you haven't been playing me, but now you need me. I'm going to try and prove a point. Or do you think they could come in and think like, not that I'm not going to play good, because obviously I'm you know what I mean? I've not been playing, but do you think they're going to be sharp? Do you think they're going to be ready?
I would never question their professionalism, so I think they'll put their all in it, but they just won't be good enough. That's it.
Yeah, you're already thinking like they're not really going to step up. You think you're going to see a difference, and you're watching United now to when we have Martinez and Varane. You think you're going to see a difference clearly? Oh yeah,
you will see that clearly, like, because the Martinez and Varane partnership has been a decent partnership, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I like Martinez. You get what I'm saying? Varane does his thing, like, but well, Maguire, as much as people might think I'm crazy, I think he gets treated just a tad bit harshly, bruv. Just a tad.
Who's that?
Just a tad. Maguire.
Okay.
I think it's treated just a little tad bit harshly. You get what I'm saying? Like, overall, like media, social media, blah, blah, blah. But in terms of saying to me, do I think they'll be like, yep, you need me now, I'm going to step up. They will try, but that will change, bro. So wherever they are is what they are. It is what it is, isn't it? And you got to hope for the best, bro. That's it.
That's the hope for the best. It's kind of how I feel with Maguire.
Not like a negative way, like, oh, they're whack or whatever.
No, but you know, like, and Daps will even know. He's watched games with me for time when I've had them at the back. There's a natural bit of confidence you feel like. So, for example, like when Botman's playing for you, like, you feel good. When Romero's back for Spurs, despite his sometimes errors, you feel good. When Diaz and Stones are back for City, they feel good. With Maguire and Lindelof, you go into games like today and you know you feel a bit uneasy.
Literally, and you know every time that especially when you've got those attackers running at them, you know what they're like. You're like, oh.
Maguire's pulling him down. He's getting a yellow. Like, you just know it.
Yeah, you know what to expect.
Yeah,
and you don't want to
that's it. But
especially
I think
at Forest Ground, like, look, Man United, we all know how big Man United are. Like, teams like Nottingham Forest
raise the bar.
Like, Nottingham Forest have, like, they have history with Man United. Like, you know what?
Come on.
If Forest, I believe, if Forest would have beat Man United back in the day, then Sir Alex Ferguson never would have been Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah, like, that's how deep their history is. That when Fergie was on his last leg, the paper was saying, you lose this game in the FA Cup,
FA Cup, yeah.
and you are being sacked, right? Fergie went out, and this is a Forest that I think were FA Cup winners the season before. Man United went out, beat them. From that day, Man United went on a run. Won the FA Cup that year, League the next year. We all know the history.
Yeah.
That is the Manchester United, Nottingham Forest history, yeah? So when Nottingham Forest play Man United, like, the fans are waiting for this. It's Sunday. They're up, they're excited, they're at the ground. This is the old rival from back in the day. We're all turning up. All the old school Forest heads are at the ground, yeah? The pressure is going to be there on Man United today.
Yeah.
And the maddest thing is what you said about how no one believes in Maguire. The maddest thing is every time I watch interviews with this man, the one man, and you know what, you got to salute it, that believes in Harry Maguire is Harry Maguire.
Yeah, he does. Right? He really does.
He believes in himself, to a point of arrogance.
Bro, he's got you, bro. Like,
do you know what? I don't know if it was Daps, I don't know if it was someone else, but someone just said the goal that the Sevilla scored when it hits his head and goes in, that literally sums up Maguire's time at United. Like, you couldn't have written it even better. Do you know
but he got blamed for that. He got blamed for that by some people. Oh, Maguire. I'm like, bro, what's he supposed to do? Just maintain the way to go. Like, allow him, bro.
This sums up your luck, man. But we'll go up. We'll do our score predictions. 200 people here. Make sure, first of all, guys, before we wrap it up, you like this video before you leave. Make sure you subscribe to Geordie Dread as well. It's down below in the description. Make sure you appreciate subscribers. I know from the first time he's only gained like 30 subscribers. So big up all you guys, man, showing love for the love, man. 100%. Make sure you like the video, and obviously George, Daps, myself, Specs, we're all on Twitter as well, so you can make sure you can find us on there as well. But yeah, score prediction for the United game, and then we'll make it a close because the football's starting shortly. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna be confident and say we're gonna scrape a 2-1, like George is saying.
Same, I got that.
2-1. Specs, what are you saying?
2-1 United.
Raw, Daps, what are you saying? United win, or are you gonna throw a spanner in the works?
Nah, you know what? I think United win, but because of the fact these two have said 2-1, I'll go 3-1. But I do think United win.
Nice. I would take that. Do you know what? And then that will probably nearly secure us top 4 with Spurs and Newcastle sipping up, guys. We might be back with a show later tonight, so just keep your eyes peeled on the Never a Foul channel. If not, it's Chronicles tomorrow in the afternoon, reviewing all the games as well. Man City putting the pressure on Arsenal. Will they respond? United need to capitalise on Spurs and Newcastle. And then tomorrow night, don't forget, is Leeds, Liverpool as well. There's Monday night football tomorrow, so we'll definitely have something either in the evening or if not on Tuesday as well for that. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to become a member, it's down below. Daps, is there anything you want to plug or say before we wrap up?
Nah, man. Nah.
Yeah, all blessed. There we go, people.
Love to Specs for coming on. Love
man.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. George, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, love that, man. Big up everyone. Big up the Never a Foul community. And guys in the comments as well, thanks for sticking us throughout the show. Big up.
Love.